I have been in and out of reading slumps throughout the month of July, and I think it's from my own making. I read entirely too many books at one time. Nay, I start entirely too many books at one time, and then I end up getting like frustrated and also overwhelmed with how many books I am reading, because it's not like a normal number. Like a normal number for me would be like 3. You know, you have one physical book, one audiobook, one ebook, and that works for a long time. And then I get into these modes where like I just start everything and then it overwhelms me and then I don't read anything. So here's the thing. This is going to be like a get out of a reading slump with me / also I have very strict rules for the way that I'm allowed to conduct myself throughout this video, which is I'm only allowed to read one book at a time. I'm only allowed to read one book at a time, and that one book has to be my ebook, my Kindle book, my ebook, my audiobook, and my physical book. I'm not allowed to have 3 separate books because that's where it starts. So I'm going to spend this weekend, it's Friday afternoon. I don't have any plans for this weekend. I think we're planning on just like staying in because Tyler's working a lot. I don't feel great. I'm having an autoimmune flare-up. So naturally, it's just going to be a very sleepy, very chill reading kind of weekend. The book that I want to start with, I think, is going to be 6 of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. This was the only book on my currently reading list that like actually sounds a little bit interesting. Hi guys, okay, it's the next day and I needed to give a reading update because oh my gosh. Okay, I need to take these off so that you guys can actually see my face when I talk about this book. So I was reading this on my Kindle last night, so I need to see how far into the Kindle version. I know it was like a little over 20%. So I'm 103 pages into this book. I'm on chapter 7. Why did I not read this book sooner? Why would y'all not tell me to read this book sooner? Listen, I can't even blame y'all because y'all did tell me. This book is cracked. This is so good. I did get questions on my TikTok, so I'll just answer it here too. But people were asking like, do you have to read the Grishaverse in order to read this book? I tried to read the Grishaverse like, oh my gosh, twice actually, over 2 years ago. I read Shadow and Bone, loved that book. The second book I could not get through. I just really I have not been in a full-fledged like fantasy mood until now. Reading this book within like the past like 2 years, I've like had little blips of where I've wanted to read fantasy, but like nothing like this. You don't have to read the Grishaverse in order to understand this. I think it would give important context, and I will after I finish reading this duet, because I think I needed to fall in love with the Grishaverse before going back and reading those books. I feel like that for me is just going to be the easiest way for me to really, what's the word that I'm looking for, like appreciate those books, because I loved Shadow and Bone. Like I loved that book. But the second book, I think it's Siege and Storm, I could not get into for literally, I've tried so hard to get into that book. Could not do it. So I just put the whole trilogy on pause. And that was part of the reason why I didn't want to pick 6 of Crows up, because I was like, I haven't read the Grishaverse. I don't want to like go out of order, whatever. No, you can absolutely read 6 of Crows without reading the Grishaverse first, especially if you're having a harder time getting into the Shadow and Bone trilogy. Doing it this way might help a little bit, although it might, como se dice, spoil some things at the end of that trilogy. I'm not sure. Anyways, but I just wanted to update and tell you guys that I'm loving this. I might end up just binging the duet this weekend because that's how much fun I'm having with this. But I'm at my new favorite coffee shop. I love this place because the seating is so comfortable and their cold brew is actually phenomenal. So I'm about to go in there, edit a video. I will be reading this though as well. I have it on my Kindle. Listen, I have it on my Kindle, I have the audiobook, and I have the physical book. I need help. Anyways, I am gonna go read though because I cannot wait. And the thing is like I said this before, I don't know if I said it to you guys or if I said it to someone else. Part of how I know I'm back into reading, but more so that I'm reading a book that's like more than likely going to be 5 stars. Yes, I'm saying it, okay? It might be premature, but I'm saying it. The way that I know that those are going to more than likely like be happening is every time I'm not reading the book, I'm thinking about the book and I'm thinking about like just wanting to get back into it. I woke up this morning thinking about getting into it. I waited for Tyler to go to sleep. I waited for Tyler to go to sleep last night, and then I turned my book on and I was reading until I fell asleep. Like, I'm loving this world so much, and the characters and Kaz and Inej. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so good. So, just to let you know. Hi, it's a little bit later now. I just got home and my plan for today is to honestly shirk the rest of my responsibilities because I just want to sit here and read Six of Crows. I'm 27% of the way through it. I got through like another 2 chapters while I was at the coffee shop, and like these chapters are fairly long. I mean, like some are pretty short and then some are fairly long, but I'm not minding it actually at all. And I need to say this because I fear if I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't need to say this actually, but like I want to, which is this feels like a 5 if not 6-star read for me. And the reason is because the feeling that this book is giving me only 128 pages into it is the same feeling I got when I read Throne of Glass. And if you know me, I read Throne of Glass back in high school. First book especially felt like a coming home in a sense, and this is what that feels like. And it doesn't help either because the female narrator for this audiobook is the same narrator who narrated A Throne of Glass, so I always associate her with like just really comforting feelings, I guess. And so this feels really like cozy and comforting, even though I know at some point I'm going to end up crying and sobbing. So honestly, I'm just gonna sit here. I want to get through as much of this book as I can today, and I'm like weary to even like lay down in my bed because I don't want to fall asleep. I just want to be like comfortable and cozy, so I'm gonna do it anyways. I'm gonna put on some ambiance. I found oh my gosh, actually I saw someone put on like a Kaz like a Six of Crows ambiance, so I'm gonna try to find that on YouTube and see if it's ambiancing. I love the way that Leigh Bardugo paints pictures in this book. Like there's already been things that I've annotated or like underlined that I just based on the writing. It's so good. Okay, I'm putting on this one. It's called Scheming in Ketterdam. It's technically like Six of Crows ambiance, but this is the one. It's been a little bit of a crazy couple of days, so I have not read a ton. If you hear my dogs barking in the background, I'm sorry. Almost 50% of the way through Six of Crows. I'm 47% of the way through Six of Crows. This was the book that I needed to get out of my reading slump. Like, I'm not joking. This book has been phenomenal so far. Like, I absolutely love it. I didn't forget because I knew, but it just like, I feel like it takes me more to read a fantasy because whenever I am thinking about it, if I'm not in the right headspace, then I'm like, oh, I don't want to put that much brain power towards a book, especially with just like how things have been going recently. But picking up this book, like it's worth it. It's not even that much brain power because it's not that difficult of a world to understand. But that's also probably because I have been familiar with the Shadow and Bone and the whole Grishaverse since Shadow and Bone came out, like the books came out. So I'm not necessarily like surprised about that, but it's so good. I love Kaz as a character. Kaz and Inej are my favorite characters. They're just all of their scenes. I'm like sat at the edge of my seat, just waiting and like, just kiss already. It's so good. It's so good. I don't want to say too much, obviously, because I don't want to like give it away, but if you're looking for a book that has yearning in it, tried and true yearning, like true yearning, not just like, oh, I like you, but she doesn't know. No. Like true yearning. That is this book. It's so good. It's so good. So I'm so excited to actually like get back into it and start reading more. Yesterday, I did end up finishing Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo, and I just need to say this book is a 6 to 7-star read. It will be one of my favorites of all time. It's about 6 basically criminals. It's like kind of like a found family aspect where none of them are related, but they all like, you know, they're all come together as family. Okay, listen, I feel so bad right now. I was trying to be coherent for this review. I might not be. Kaz is like the leader of this crew. He is very well known in Ketterdam, and It's just like where they are, the fantasy world that they're in. Overall, this book was just a masterpiece. The writing in it is probably my favorite kind of writing because it's not so lyrical that like it becomes difficult to understand, but the metaphors and like the similes and the way that she describes things are so beautiful and so spot on. It makes the picture so much more real in your head, I guess, if that makes sense. And the way that all of the characters have a very distinct voice, because we do get a lot of their POVs, if not all of their POVs, if I'm not mistaken. It's just the way that they are written is so fundamentally different, and it makes them so unique. And it just like, usually if I'm reading a book with a rather large cast of characters or like a rather large POV cast, whatever, I get to the point where some of them irritate me and I don't really want to hear from any of them. The only two that like at the beginning I really didn't care that much was Matthias and Nina. Those were the two that like I didn't really care to hear from. And then as the book went on, there was not one POV that I was like, oh, I want to get through. Like every single POV excited me, and I was excited to see like what they were doing. And I think Leigh Bardugo does a very, very good job of setting up the conflict in this book, because like even the setup is so interesting, and it's like it just feels like it flies by, especially once you get past, I want to say like the 5 to 10% mark, because I've gotten questions about it. Like I've tried to start this book multiple times and it did not work for me, and for whatever reason this time like I stuck with it, and I want to say I stuck past like the 10% mark, and it ended up being so good. So with that being said, 7-star read for that one. Okay, now I'm already into Crooked Kingdom, and this book is longer. I think this book is like closer to 600 pages, which like I don't mind actually, because that means I get to spend more time with my favorite characters. But now we're on a different job. This job though is, I actually can't explain it because I don't want to spoil anything for the first book, but this is already giving so good. I haven't annotated as much in the beginning of this book as I did with the other one, but I do think as we get farther along I will start annotating more. I need to go through and like put the rest of my annotations, because I've been switching from my Kindle and reading physically. There's just something about reading these books on Kindle. I think it's because like it doesn't feel as long as when I'm holding the physical book, which is like the age old trick. If you're reading a long book, try to get it on Kindle, which these books are on Kindle Unlimited, which we are so blessed now, because I feel like I say this whenever I talk about Kindle Unlimited in like a meta way, I guess, I don't know, but like Kindle Unlimited used to be so bad. The books that were on there, no one wanted to read, you know what I mean? Like not no one, they just weren't popular, and you were out of luck if you wanted a good fantasy book. Now the options are insane. So I don't get why people complain about Kindle Unlimited, because you have so many options to read on there. Like it's kind of crazy. But these books are on Kindle Unlimited, which I never would have guessed. So I was literally getting ready to like buy the ebook, but like begrudgingly, because why are ebooks so expensive? Lo and behold, I look and it says it's on Kindle Unlimited. Yes, please, Lord, thank you. Anyways, so I'm reading Six Crows. I'm like almost 15, I think I am 15% of the way through it. So I just got to like part 2, like a little bit into part 2. I'm loving this book already. I'm loving what's happening. I'm excited for the ride. It's been a couple of days, I think, since the last update, and I have successfully and thoroughly gone through the stages of being sick, so that's great. But I'm now 245 pages into Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo, and can I just say this book is phenomenal. Okay, so I know that there's a spin-off series, which I had less than no interest in reading a while ago, before I read Six of Crows, and now I'm like really looking forward to reading it. There's a sneak peek for it, so I think I might, so I'm probably going to want to read it. I said that to say, I thought I owned it, but I guess I don't, because the last time I looked through my books, I couldn't find it, so I don't think I owned King of Scars. But this is so freaking good. Like, here's the thing, I want to lock in, and I'm going to lock in, and we're going to finish this book tonight. I have just under 3 hours left of the audiobook, and I'm immersive reading. If you are wanting to get into these books and you have not thought about the audiobooks, please do. They have a full cast of characters, and it's just so good. The world building is phenomenal. The characters and how they interact with each other, and just the way that like they all care for each other, but because of the situation that they're in, it brings out a different level of cruelty that they have to have, and especially like with Kaz and him being like the ringleader and whatever. This book is so good. It is a genuine masterpiece. I will be thinking about these books forever, and in fact I just might be rereading these books this season again, this fall season. Speaking of which, it's fall in this house now, okay? So I literally made a pumpkin spice, like a brown sugar pumpkin spice creamer. Found just a random recipe on TikTok. Decided that I was going to make it this morning, and I did, and it's phenomenal. And I topped it with pumpkin spice cinnamon cold foam. So freaking amazing. I should not be drinking coffee at 8 p.m., but it's been the first time that I have actually craved coffee since I've been sick. Maybe is that just a me thing? Like whenever I'm sick, like the last thing, like literally thinking of drinking coffee makes me want to gag, which is crazy because like I love coffee and I drink so much of it every single day. But anyways, where was I going with that? Oh, fall. It's fall in my head. So I think after this book, I think we have to read either a fall themed romance, or I really want to get into either Babel or Ninth House. That's what the book is called, Ninth House. We're gonna lock in, try to finish this book because I want to know how it ends. I want to be done with it, but I also would like, I think part of the reason why I've like not wanted to read it, okay, this is why I get into reading slumps too. This is another avenue for reading slumps. I want to read this book, but I want to do anything other than read this book because I don't want the book to end. So I end up, I literally procrastinated all day. I think I maybe read like a couple chapters today simply because like I did not want the book to end. Like I know that this is it for these characters in particular. This set, this cast of characters, this story, I know that it's over. So I don't want to keep reading. But at the same time, I have not been able to stop thinking about it. So like I want to keep reading it. And it puts me into a reading slump because I'm like, oh, it's so good. And I end up in a reading slump. Okay. Anyways. Update and then probably honestly finish this video because okay, I want to tell y'all it is July. It's not even July. Hold on, that was crazy. It's August 12th, but reading these books has officially put me into fall mood. I no longer am in the mood for reading summer reads or anything of the like. And so I was gonna film a video like finishing out my summer reads or like my summer TBR or whatever. And I genuinely cannot be bothered to read any of the books that has to do anything with summer. I want to get into my fall and winter reads now. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. And I think I'm gonna end this video here. But I wanted to give a final review for this duology because this duology effectively got me out of my reading slump. Like I'm so excited to read. I've started reading The Unmaking of June Farrow, which I'm so excited to like actually get into and finish. But I just needed to talk about these books because holy moly, can we talk about a 6, 7, 10-star read for me? I was not sure if I was going to end up like truly loving this duology. I knew I probably was going to enjoy Crooked Kingdom after reading Six of Crows, and I didn't write any thoughts down, so this is not going to be very, what's the word that I'm looking for? Como se dice? I'm not going to be able to speak very eloquently, okay? I still don't feel good. My brain is kind of foggy, but the way that I felt about this book by the end, I care so much about these characters, and I'm genuinely like, I'm torn because I'm upset that we only got 2 books in this duology, but then I also do feel like, well, okay, that's also not true because the way that she ended this book, I feel like we could have had a third. I feel like she could have squeezed out a third, but then people would have been like, oh, she's just like cash grabby or whatever, which isn't the case. This is just such a good book, okay? These books are phenomenal, and if you have not read these books yet, please do. I will be thinking about these for so long. Everything that they've been saying about these books are true. I'm upset that I wasted so much time. You don't understand. I've had these books on my shelves since they came out, but because people were telling me like, oh, you need to read Shadow and Bone first, and I didn't want to get through Shadow and Bone because those books bored me, which actually I do think now that I have the basis in the interest and the love for these books, I do think I could go back to Shadow and Bone and enjoy those books more now, because I'm not in such a, I feel like for a while, I don't know if I talked about this in this video, I just got so sucked into romance. It literally made me not want to read anything else. If there was not heavy romance, I wasn't going to read it, and that's just not personally my favorite time of reading. It's not my favorite reading era, because I feel like I just shut myself off to everything, and it's just not where I came from. I used to be a fantasy reader. I didn't understand why we would read books set on Earth doing the most mundane things when we could create these stories that were so fantastical and just crazy, beautiful, wonderful. I had a really hard time picking up romance, and then I picked up an adult romance, and I was like, oh, I like this genre. Proceeds to read nothing but adult romance for the next year after that. It's okay, it was a whole thing. Anyways, I think it's time for me to go back and do a Throne of Glass reread of the first half of the series so that I can finish the last, like, I'm still on the tandem read, and I don't like Tower of Dawn because I don't like Kale, but I feel like I might enjoy it more now. I feel like these books just like broke down the rest of the barriers that I had for fantasy. Like, I even want to start reading Game of Thrones almost. Like, I only want to read fantasy right now is basically what I'm saying. So if the next like 4 or 5 videos are of just fantasy books, I'm so sorry, but like this is where we're at. I'm back in it, and I'm so freaking excited about it. I feel like this feels like coming home, to be honest with you. That has nothing to do with these books. I just went on a tangent. Either way, I would give both of these books 5 stars. Like, genuinely, they are so worth their salt. Audiobooks for both, because I did end up listening to the audiobook for Crooked Kingdom as well. Also phenomenal. The cast of narrators, so freaking good. The actual cast of characters in these books are so good, and they have so much depth to them. I didn't cry at the end of Crooked Kingdom like I thought I might have, just given how the book started, but it ended in a way that, like, while it wasn't, I'm not going to talk about the ending because I feel like that obviously it gives away a lot. It wrapped up well for me, I guess is what I'm trying to say, and I enjoyed it, and I honestly want to go back and reread these books. Like, I will be rereading these books before fall ends. I need to go through and put my annotation, like my tabs and everything, because I have annotated on my Kindle, and I have like just underlined stuff in here and then I want to go back and put tabs in. And I love these books. Like, there's so much to this world, and like how intricate and how in-depth the magic system is, and like the levels to the magic, and then just like the intricacies of the plot were crazy. And I have nothing but respect for Leigh Bardugo, but the way that she was able to like tie everything together, it's so good. Now, I will say, I'm assuming, because I have not read the final book in the Shadow and Bone world, these books do spoil the ending for that trilogy. I would just like kind of weigh whether or not you want to read what first. It really doesn't make much of a difference to me because I don't have an attachment with those characters like I do these characters. So if I were to go and read that trilogy, it would just be to come back to the Grishaverse and to read more of Leigh Bardugo's writing, because I genuinely love her writing style. So it's not that big of a deal for me, but if it's something that like you don't want to get spoiled, maybe do read those books first, just because, like I said, it just depends on how connected you want to feel or how much of a desire you have to read those books, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, these books did their job. These books did their job. Anyways, yeah, I was gonna start summer reading this week. We are abandoning that plan full stop, and we are going to either go into fantasy books. I think I'm not even gonna like try to fight it. I'm gonna get into fantasy or just like cozy books for the fall vibes, because I need them in my life right now. I kind of also want to start The Way of Kings. That book has been calling to me, but I did just start The Unmaking of June Farrow, and I don't want to like get this whole big TBR again. Like, I want to focus on one book at a time for a while and see, you know, how well that does for me. Anyways, that is my review of these 2 books. If you're asking if you should read them, yes, please go read them. I literally love them so much. There's nothing better to me to be honest with you. These are the best fantasy duology I've read in years, and I would venture on to say ever, as far as like duologies go. They're that good though. So that's that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I feel like this was not one of my best vlogs, but there's been a lot going on, but I'm still happy that like throughout this past week I was able, or like a little over 7 days, I was able to complete both of these books because they were phenomenal and you guys were right, and I do need to start listening to you guys more. This is my apology, okay? Get off my back, mom. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to find my face on any other place on the internet, as always, check out the links in my description. Other than that, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.